Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to Chop It Up. I'm your man, Uncle Freezie. I am the host of the Nick's Morning Drive, the YouTube channel. You know, it's popping or whatever. I'm also the co-host of the Nick's Morning Drive. I am joined by my main man, Sin Mears. I think of him as knowledge supreme because when I hear my man talk, hey, when you trust me, and when you guys hear get to hear my man chop it up about subjects, you're gonna know why I think of him in such high regard. Sin Mears, how you doing today?
Peace, family. I'm good, man. I'm just happy to be here, man. Have these discussions, these conversations, man. Uh, to really, show some transparency for the community, you
Right,
know,
right,
furtherance. Like, I'm just happy to be here, man.
right,
Uh,
right. No doubt. Hey, how was work today? Not getting too in depth. Was it good? Was it peaceful?
man, today was the day off, man. Today was
Okay.
the day off, so I just chilled out, cooked it out. I had a good breakfast, got dinner out the way,
Right.
getting ready for this show, getting ready, trying to bring the energy, bring the discussions, the hot takes. Not so much, but
Yeah, man.
just
I,
ready.
I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie to you. So we jumped
Yeah,
on. So we jumped on. What was it? Saturday? Was it
I,
Saturday morning?
I think
Was
it
it Sunday
was
morning? One of those. So we jumped.
Saturday morning.
Right. So we jumped on, man, and the conversation was so fun to me, in my opinion, that I was like, "Dang, man, we said 90 minutes, man. Man, we could have went like,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
could have went
yeah.
longer and longer."
Definitely.
Right, man. And so I'm excited about the opportunity to continue to go in that direction, like talk about some stuff, hopefully get some people to join. I talked to a few in our circle before we
Okay,
got here, and
okay.
they were excited. They was like, "Word, you talking about like the joint from Saturday?" It's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Me, and Samir's, man. We thinking about. They was like, "Yo, y'all ain't gonna be talking about Knicks. Y'all gonna be talking about real life stuff." It's like, yeah, we'll be talking about some life stuff, man.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
they were
yeah.
excited about the opportunity. So I created the thumbnail. I thought about a few topics, right? But
Yep, yep.
of course, you can't talk about 10 or 12 things in a limited conversation without giving those topics, the respect that they deserve in terms of getting in depth and how it impacts our community and our lifestyle, because this is a lifestyle channel, right?
Absolutely.
It's about how these things how they impact our lives, right? So the two things I limited it down to was sexuality across the board, like you know um, I give you an example how when I was young I never saw a gay person, right?
Yeah,
Like when I was young, I never saw a gay person. Like
yeah,
when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, I never heard a person say, I am gay, right?
yeah,
But now, you know, like 50,000 years later, what I'm saying? You see it and it's a part of our culture, right?
yeah.
And so my feelings towards it was going from this is rare and strange, what's wrong with that person or those people to you got to show people the love and respect that they deserve. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay.
Yeah, yeah. And so another topic too, and I want to touch on the first topic first, but I also want to touch on another topic that's kind of the same, but not
Mm-hmm.
but different, and that is the weed culture, right? Because when I was young, like 6, 7, 8 years old, I was in the mindset that drugs were bad, right? Like don't do drugs. Drugs are bad, right? And fast forward to today, you know, I go in whatever. What's a big box store? Kmart, Walmart, Costco, wherever you live at.
Yeah, yeah,
You can
yeah.
walk through the parking lot,
Walmart.
and before you get in the store, you smell weed all over the parking lot.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
So it's one of those things that it go from a rare thing to a thing that's socially accepted,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I just wanted to highlight that second topic first, just to let people give people some time to think about the second topic first.
Okay.
But the first topic, um, say sexuality, um, it kind of puts me in a weird space, right? Because I feel like sexuality, in a sense, is maybe gone a little bit, in my opinion, because I'm old school.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, I think sexuality may have gone a little bit too far.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was younger, sexuality was subtle, right? Um, it was nuanced, right? Like when I was younger, when I was a shorty, when I was really young. And let me click on. I also got to do. I also want to do this thing real quick. Um, so I'm trying to do two things at once. I want to get this thing out here so that I can track our Facebook people too. Let me do. Let me do. Not that. Not that. This is what I want to get to. Okay. So when I was younger, sexuality was one of those things where it was when you're young, you just kind of noticed. Like I used to notice little girls. It's like, man, look, she a little cutie. But nobody told me I had to notice. Like men would like they didn't have to tell me. They didn't like, hey, you see that girl down the street? You should be trying to holler at her. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
more like, man, she looked like because I like never forget the first day of school, like my first day of school. Once I got over the separation anxiety from going to school, like being away from my family every day. Because when you little, when you 4 or 5 years old, you used to being with your family every day, and then all of a sudden you thrust into this weird social setting when you have to learn all this stuff. And people don't understand that when you're young, when you're a kindergartner,
Yeah.
you legit going from being around your family every day, depending on them to do everything for you, to going to school, being in this social setting where you're learning these social skills in order to become self reliant. You know what I'm saying? You learn
In
stuff at
order to.
home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you learn stuff at home, like learn how to tie your shoe. You know how to brush your teeth. You know what I'm saying? You know how to comb your comb your hair. You know what I'm saying? You learn little stuff, but you don't learn real stuff like sharing on a grand scale. You know what I'm saying? Or learning how to put stuff away based on the rules of the setting that you're in. Right. But anyway, that may be a topic for another show, like separation anxiety and social adjustment. How you do
Yeah.
that may be a topic for another day. But when I got to school, what I noticed was little girls, right? And me and the boys would be playing, and we'd be playing with our little blocks and stuff, and I'd be looking, you know what I'm saying? Like the little girls over there, and they'll be doing something, and they'll be like, Uncle Freezy keep looking at me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Little stuff. But over the like as we got older, I started to notice little stuff like they spoke differently. They ain't talk like boys, like little boys. We'd be like, "Give me that truck, man!" You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Or something,
Yeah.
or something. The little girls would be like, "Uncle Freezy, can I use your purple crayon?" And at first, I used to talk like my uncles. No, get your old purple crayon. And then after a while, I'm like, they like, what's wrong with him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I had to make this adjustment. Like my uncles, I could forget my uncles then was in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. Man, I was 5. I can't talk like that. But then I noticed like little stuff, the way they talk, the way they move. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, they
Mm-hmm.
different. Like I wanna do something with that, but I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? It's like a
Yeah.
5-year old, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But by the time you get to be older, like by the time you get to be 15, 20, 25, you know what you want to do with it. You just can't figure out when.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so, but I said that to say, like, in the 70s or whatever, um, sexuality was a different thing. It was crazy subtle, right? Like, like women like would reel you in like one step at a time because they may have had the same feeling,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they was like, nah, I ain't ready to do all of this at once. Big dog in 2021 though, sexuality is way over the top, way over the top in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. Like legit, and depending on your orientation, like with me,
Mm-hmm.
like with me, I ain't never had like a gay thought, so I don't understand it,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah,
ain't never had no. So, and I'm not saying I'm not judging people. I'm saying from my experience, I ain't never had like gay thoughts or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I always been focused on women,
yeah.
right? And so it's this weird thing, like, and I ain't judging nobody, but it's this weird thing, like, hey, Frederick, what's good? What's good, Frederick? Um,
Peace, salute, Frederick.
so in 2021, I see like these things over the top, like dudes kissing each other in public, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So in 2021, it don't bother me now. It's like somebody having a white shirt on. Like it don't
Mm-hmm.
even bother me. But the
Mm-hmm.
step to 2021 kind of had me in this adjustment period. You know what I'm saying? Like, ew, they kissing each other in public. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
It, it, it,
yeah.
it's so to draw the timeline. Basically, what I'm getting at is I went from like in the 70s, in the early 70s, going from like you know sensuality and sexuality was something. It was so nuanced and so um what's the word I'm looking for? It was so
Uh, More romanticized
yeah, yeah,
in a
yeah,
sense. Like, I know what you're saying. I know
yeah. It was
exactly what you mean.
it was like um no lie. I went to the movies. That was man. We went to the movies to see this movie called Jaws, right? And I'm with dudes, all my older cousins. We go this is I forget when Jaws came out, but I go to the movies to see. I think it was Jaws. It was something I can't remember. But anyway, it was like when the girls was on the beach in their bikinis.
Mm-hmm.
My female cousins was putting their fingers over my eyes. I was like trying to see through their, you know what I'm saying? They're like, you too young to see that. You too young to see that.
Yeah.
And it was just bikinis, bro. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2021, that's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So um I want to touch on that because I think our culture has been um invaded by people that view the world differently. Like, and I'm not saying, and when I say our, I mean everybody's culture. So let
Okay.
me so let me make this clear. Let me make this clear to everybody. Whether you like girls or boys, or whether boys or girls like you,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is, whatever whatever you like sexually, I'm not judging you.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm being inclusive. I want you to know that.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is this: our culture has been invaded by people expressing their freedom to be who they want to be, right? And without judgment or whatever. And I'm for that. The only thing I'm against is forcing what you like on somebody else. Kind of like when you and I talked about belief system this weekend,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm
Yeah.
not trying to force my belief system on anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just want to
Absolutely.
make sure that the way that I do it, I'm doing it right as the way that I see it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And we
Yeah.
all see things differently. Matter of fact, we got to continue that conversation at some point, man, because it was seemed like to me like the tip of the iceberg.
Nah, I'm ready for part two. We definitely got to finish that conversation.
Yeah,
That's
as a matter of fact, I'm mad that you cut me off at 90 minutes.
I mean, I That's my fault. That's my fault.
Yeah,
But definitely, man, we gotta definitely get back into that.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. But let me ask this, because
Yeah.
I think about stuff like as an old fogey, right? Like a old dude. I ain't that old, man. I ain't old, but I think about stuff as say an older person. I ain't really that old. I just think about it as a classic. Think about things in a classic traditional sense, right? Like I just think about, like, when I first saw two boys holding hand, or two men holding hands walking together. I was like,
Hmm.
that's strange.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because with me, like, I'll give you an example. I tried to hold my pop's hand one time. We was walking to the store.
Yeah.
Get off me, pump. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it just didn't
Yeah.
seem natural, right? Because
Yeah.
when I used to see my uncles and my father and them chop it up in the living room, you know what I'm saying? They ain't never show love for each other, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I see two men in love with each other holding hands. I'm like, that's strange,
Yeah.
you know. But
Yeah.
anyway, you got any thoughts on it?
I mean, like you said, something you really can't understand, like, uh, and I was always like, I think me doing a little bit of time and all that always was like, yo, I just mind my business on, certain things that I don't understand. Like, always time to show itself, like, and the pursuit of happiness is for every person. So,
Right,
definitely to each their own. I feel like uh society culture is definitely like uh too overdriven in that sense. Like the images that is being passed down for the youth to see and at it, like and that's being exposed to, like, it's just crazy. Like like you said, like coming up, it wasn't like how it is. So how it is now, and the only way we could do, like, and it's hard to get that back, but we just have to, like, even now, like, I'm buying my goddaughter a book. Like, I want you to, like, let's read this book together. Like,
right,
you
right,
see what I'm saying? Like,
right,
give you some type of incentive, like that show you some type of things that aren't being seen and the things that you're ingesting. You see what I'm saying?
right,
So
right. It is. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. There is an adjustment for me that I have to, um an adjustment in a sense. Because, like, with me, stuff generally don't bother me. You know what
mhm.
I'm saying? Nowadays, my main thing is um I'm trying to be the best version of myself, right? And sometimes with that, you just have to be at peace with what goes on. So I'm trying to share this with the universe real quick. I'm just putting our live stream out here.
Nah, definitely. I strive to be better every day, like in every aspect, like, and like I think I'm my harshest critic, like, honestly. So and I feel like I mean, and I try to keep it on the eye. Like, I don't. If you ask me, yeah, my opinion, and I'll give it to you. But I don't want to preach. I don't want to stand on the soapbox and preach because you know.
Right, right, no doubt, no doubt. And so with this adjustment that I feel like I'm making, to being, the best version of myself, and being an example for people in the community to emulate and to model, right? I feel like I have to be respectful of other people's feelings, right? And so I think Sin Mears jumped off, man. I mean, my man stays so busy with stuff he may have just got. But anyway, we're gonna rock and roll, man. Um, so the thing with sexuality, across the board, and my opinion is this.
Sorry.
So no, we ain't dang that. Yo, technology is the goat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Technology is the goat. So
yeah,
sometimes you're gonna win some, sometimes you're gonna lose. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
anyway. The thing with sexuality is this: I came from an era where dudes were super cool. Like my role models were cats like Jackie Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Jackie Wilson was like, in my opinion, was like the coolest dude to ever breathe breath. Him
mm,
and a dude named Billy D. Williams, a
yeah.
dude named Sidney
I'm
Poitier.
still,
You know what I'm saying? Dudes like that. Like when you saw them, you know what I'm saying? They had suits on, they were fly, and they spoke that street talk in a sense that it was still Elizabethan too. So it was like they talk that street talk, but they can also talk that boardroom, talk that classroom talk at the same time. It just seemed cool to me.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, that's that era that I come from. Like sitting down, watching Channel 5, watching Channel 11, watching Channel 7, watching these movies late at night,
yeah.
and my heroes are becoming on TV, and Mom Dukes will be like, Uncle Freezy, you better take yourself to sleep. And I'll be
Mm.
like, oh, let me just finish the movie. You know what I'm saying? Uncle
Uh-huh.
Freezy, you better not be sleepy in the morning. I won't. You know what I'm saying?
Dog
And
tired.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I got to watch. I got to watch. You know what I'm saying? My dudes do something. Like I
Yeah.
legit got to watch. You know what I'm saying? These street dudes that looked like came from, you know what I'm saying, dressed like my uncles. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? But got to see them on a big screen and got them to do their thing. And but the ladies in their life, is the point I'm getting to, the ladies in their life were the same way. They dress nice. They legit dressed sensual enough to make you want to see more, but not enough to have you have your tongue hanging out your mouth.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So they were in a sense, they were like um, just enough to get your attention, but also enough for you to respect who they were as people.
yeah. Not
Not
over the top.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nowadays, man, the first time you see, especially in movies, now the first time you see a woman, she half naked.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So all
yeah,
any of the words that's coming out her mouth, you don't need to hear them.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? All you thinking about is what she look like butt naked. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? In my opinion, or
Absolutely.
um or to to some, and so I don't know how to address it. I just know that it's some things that I see, like, or some that like some dudes that are gay, like that are effeminate or whatever.
Hmm.
They dress so that way that there's no doubt that that they are,
Yeah,
and whatever, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. Live your life. Do it because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, we can't live life for each other. and
yeah,
and, and I shouldn't be putting my and this is my opinion only, right?
yeah.
I'm not asking you to go along with me, or
Nah,
I'm
listen.
not trying to go. You know how people do
Yeah,
hot takes, like two people get on and they
yeah,
gotta be different. Like, no, to me is I disagree with you.
yeah,
I
yeah,
ain't trying to do that. I'm just saying that um, sometimes I think there is an over the top thing
yeah,
that to me is less about, hey, Tony Crow in the building. What's good, Tony Crow? So there is this this thing that I feel like people do that's over the top,
hmm,
that I might say, hey, I'm not judging. I just probably wouldn't have done it that way.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Nah, definitely. I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
I
So
get you.
if you out there and so for those that are listening or watching, if you have an opinion based on what we're talking about, jump in a virtual chat and let us know what your opinion is. Don't be afraid to voice your opinion on anything that we talk about on here. because while I feel like I'm gonna be right, I'm not always right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
nah,
I just
absolutely, absolutely.
I just base it on my opinion, right? So what I'll do is I'll let that subject rock right there, right? Since we bumping
Mm-hmm.
up against 30 minutes, I ain't want to talk too much about that. But what I
Okay.
did want to talk to you about was this weed culture. Big dog, what's going on?
Talk to me about it. Like,
Eh,
talk to me about it. I mean, I would have thought. I would think that the weed culture has been there, especially in your era as well. Like, you know, at least towards the end of your era, that it came on maybe bigger.
Hey man, so I'll say it like this, right? Chop
Mm-hmm.
Low is in the building. What's good, Chop?
Peace,
Chop,
peace,
what's
y'all.
good? So
Peace, Almighty. Mm-hmm.
so what I'm gonna say about the weed culture is this. I was never afraid of, like,
Yeah,
as a kid, like in the early 70s, like I wasn't really it really didn't it really didn't I didn't really have um I wasn't nervous about it, right? I'm talking about as a really young kid. I'm talking about, like, you know what I'm saying, like 5, 6 years old. Oh, I'll give you an example. Give you an example. When you get to that age where you old enough to walk to the store by yourself. Remember that age
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where your mom like, oh man, we out of sugar. Uncle Freezy, go to the store and get us a box of sugar.
Yeah.
And so I walked down to the Puerto Rican store,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, Poppy, I need a box of sugar. And he like, Uncle Freezy, you know where the sugar at? I'm like, dog, you know I ain't tall enough to get it. And he'd be like, okay, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? And,
Mm-hmm.
and so and so it's another thing. So if y'all don't know, if y'all ain't never been to a bodega or Puerto Rican store or whatever it is y'all call it in y'all neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
if y'all ain't never been, y'all missing the treat. Y'all walking in the store and you see a box of Fruit Loops, but the
Mm-hmm.
name on it is Fruity Loopies. Because you got so many Spanish people in your neighborhood that you know they sell the Spanish version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know. But anyway, I'll be walking to the store and I'll be smelling the weed, and I
Yeah.
like, and I walk up to like the dudes on the block. They be like, I be like, "What y'all smoking? That smell funny." And they be like, "Uncle Freezy, get out of
Yeah.
here! Get out of here, man! You
Go
messed up
get
you messed
get
up the
get
vibe.
get out of here. Go
Yeah, get out of here! Stop
get.
getting out of grown folk business." And right, and so I'm like 6 or 7, and these dudes is like 13 or 14.
Mhm.
And see, and I know I say this, and people laugh at me all the time. They be like, "Yo, how you gonna say they was grown? You 7 and they 13?" Well,
Yeah.
in my eyes, street them dudes had been on the streets for so long. At that age, hey Eric G, what's good? What's good? I see you. Yeah,
Peace, peace, salute.
so these dudes be out there smoking joints,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They be out there smoking joints, and I be like, man, them cigarettes smell funny because my pops used to smoke Winston's, right? So I know what a cigarette smell like. Them things smell terrible. But back then everybody used to smoke. Used to walk. You like legit used to walk in somebody's house
Yeah.
and you can smell them. You like, yeah, such and such home. Cause I smell them Winston's. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
smell them Virginia Slims. I smell them Cools. I smell them Newports. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's Newports right there. Such and such here. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I walked down. I'm like, man, that cigarette look funny. Where you get that skinny cigarette from? And they were like, Uncle Freezy, I told you get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to watch people that I respected and looked up to. They'd be out there burning one, right? They'd be out there burning their little joint, passing it back and forth. And I'd be like, ew, y'all passing that back and forth. It's like y'all kissing. I like telling jokes, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm mad young, I ain't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so I learned some of these lessons like at like a real young age, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
legit about the weed culture, right? So the thing that got me though is when dudes went from like joints, like little pin joints, like back in the day we used to call them prison joints. Like
Mm-hmm.
like the joint used to be so small. You used to be like, what is that? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I remember
And,
those. I remember
yeah,
both of those. I remember
yeah,
what you talking about. Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah. So I went from those, and what it meant to people, like legit smoking was like, at first it was like a rite of passage. Like what I'm saying, you
Yeah.
little, you like, you finally old enough to get, what I'm saying, getting a thing where you can, smoke the joint or whatever. And then after a while it becomes that medication you need to get through some stuff that's been legit bugging you out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
getting you from that place where you mad stressed, you just need something, or not mad stress, but you need something to take the edge off.
Yeah.
And see, I didn't understand that stuff. You know what I'm saying? When you 7 to 8, you don't understand none of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You 7 years old, like in my era, you 7 years old, you know what I'm saying? All you know is PBS, Sesame Street, some sports, a little bit of stuff at school, cartoons, cereal. That's basically the little boy stuff. So I was a G at the little boy stuff. You couldn't tell
Mm-hmm.
me about the little boy stuff. I knew all the little boy stuff. Right? Like I knew all the little boy stuff. Like I knew how to make a flower out of a Dixie cup.
Yeah.
How you cut
Yeah.
the thing and you paste it to. I knew how to make all the holiday cards. You know what I'm saying, with construction paper.
Arts
You
and
know what I'm saying?
crafts and shit.
Yeah, all
Other
that.
stuff.
I knew all the little stuff. Like I knew,
Uh-huh.
I knew. You know what I'm saying? All the tricks about making your bike go faster. I knew
Yeah.
all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of big boy stuff, and in terms of G stuff, like what I'm saying, like drinking 8 ball, smoking a joint.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't knew nothing about that. But
Yeah.
I was on the come up though, because I was,
Yeah.
learn fast. I would legit just sit there and watch people. They like,
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Freezer, you starting to make me think you one of them boys. Like, nah, I ain't one of them boys. Now. I ain't one. Nah, I ain't.
Yeah.
I ain't. I ain't the police now. Don't get that.
Yeah.
I ain't one of them boys. But
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is I don't see this at home. So when I come out here, it'd be entertaining to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
anyway,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, this weed culture is something. Now what I'm talking about is the very tip of the iceberg, right?
Yeah.
Very, very tip of the iceberg. So you got any experience you'd like to share? Or no?
So I mean, I definitely was introduced to weed culture like at an early age. I would feel like I always recognized that smell. Like my father, my father smoked. I guess when I was younger,
Right,
so I always knew the smell. I used to smoke weed maybe here and there, but um, the I feel like if you said it's like a thin line between it being a vice and an addiction, if that's you see what I'm
right,
saying, like
right,
or and a crutch, like maybe
right,
three thin lines, if anything.
right,
So coming up, I mean, you see it's like a booming $1 billion industry now.
right,
The effects on the community is crazy.
right,
Um, that it's legal now, and you know all these people behind bars for whether it be minor possessions or whatever it be behind weed. So it's crazy. Like I see the effects that it have on society, like that weed culture, our weed culture as a community. Uh, it's I, I like it. I like it
right,
in a sense, but I don't. I see where the disparities are. Like I've always been around it, so I
right,
always smell it. Where in your household you didn't. So when you that inquisitiveness about it, like, hey, what's that?
right, right,
Is funny. Like it just shows the sides of the both
right,
sides of the spectrum, if anything. Or
right. No, and so no lie, no lie. I'll give you some background to who I am, right? So both my parents come from South Carolina,
mm-hmm,
right? They met in Jersey City, New Jersey, right?
mm-hmm,
They ain't start their family. Both of them was young. You know what I'm saying? My mom was really young, right? And my pops was a little older than her, but he was young though. He was like really wanting to be that street dude. You know what I'm saying? Like be out in the streets and doing all this stuff. And so I used to see him do this street stuff, right? And so I'll never forget this story I heard by by Kumo D. Kumo D said, you know, his pops used to get dressed up and go hang out in the streets and stuff. And I'd be like, yo, that was just like what my pops did too, but except my pops worked a full-time job
Mm-hmm.
and hung out in the streets when he could. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And some dudes, they hustled out there. My pops didn't hustle out there. He worked for 30 years at this place and then, you know, and then retired, right? So, but he used to like to hang out in the streets, like the pool hall, at the bar, at
Yeah.
whatever, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And so I used to think that was the way because he modeled that in front of me without doing it intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
But and this is one thing I want to talk to y'all too on Chop It Up at some point. How you model stuff. Do you model it intentionally or do you model
Mm-hmm.
it accidentally? Right. And so my pops modeled stuff accidentally. Like he didn't want legit wasn't trying to model a certain thing because he would tell me one thing
And do another.
and but he would do another thing. Not at the same time though. Because
Yeah.
when he was with me, he'd be like, yo, you need to learn how to cook. You know what I'm saying? Play these sports, stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Do these things. But then when left to his own stuff, he would go out in the streets and hang out, blow money, the dice game, the pool table, at the bar, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching both at the same time. And what he didn't know was I was picking up on both at the same time. So what it was is like when I left the house, I was trying to be like him in the street and very young, trying to do what somebody in their 20s is trying to do. Like my pops was in his 20s, right? Still trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Triborough
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gigolo, what's good? Hey, Triborough, man, you got to come on, man. Triborough, come on, dog. You know you should be in here. Chop, chop. Y'all know y'all should be in here. What's good?
Yeah.
What's good? Y'all know y'all need to be in here. You know what I'm saying? Eric G. You know what I'm saying? Y'all out here watching, y'all out here watching story time with Uncle Freezie. Yo, and
Salute
yo,
to the chat. Salute to the chat.
yeah, hey, and so shout out to the notorious BIG because Big died like what 24 years ago today?
Was it 20?
Yeah, that was yeah, man. That's a long time ago, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
RP,
man.
RP, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's the same day as my yeah. Yep.
Hey, hey, Samir, you mind if I put the link in the chat for my man to join?
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay,
Pull up.
I'm gonna I'm gonna throw this out here so my man can jump on.
Pull up.
Hey, if hey Triborough, if you don't jump on, man, I promise you, I'm walking to your crib. Tri- Triborough, like, man, you ain't gonna bully me on hey, uh,
Cyberbullying.
yeah, yeah. No lie, when I used to watch my pops and my uncles, and they used to go out in the street. They used to have like they big fancy cars and they nice clothes and they shoe game. Like they shoe game used to be airtight.
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about I'm talking about airtight. Like they used to go buy the finest shoes. And so back in the day, they used to wear these joints called stack heel shoes,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so for those that don't know what stack heel shoes are,
What's
is
those?
yeah, it's like yeah, like they used to wear like the heel on them used to be made out of and this is me looking back on it. Be made out of like different kind of woods and they used to be stacked up on top of each other.
Mm.
And they used to look fly, you know what I'm saying? It used to give you that fly look or whatever. And with the bell bottoms, man, they used to be. I remember they used to be in the kitchen pressing their bell bottom. You know what I'm saying? I used to
Mm-hmm.
like, getting their joints from the cleaners. And I'm like,
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
that joker fly, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like that when I grow up. You
Uh-huh.
know what I'm saying? But what I didn't realize is when you were shorty, by the time you get to their age, styles will be unchanged.
100%.
Yeah, styles be unchanged. Like by the time I got to be their age, it was less about like stack heel shoes and more about like jewelry and stuff. Like your jewelry game had to be airtight. You
Oh,
know what I'm
okay.
saying? Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
it wasn't
Gold
about
finger rings and
yeah,
yeah.
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
some joints like some so your necklaces had to be real. You couldn't wear no hollow joints.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had to you had to be your joint had to be super tight. So but
Yeah. Yeah.
so the point I was getting at is when I used to see these dudes in the street, I used to talk like them. Like when I used to talk to when like my pops used to go to the store. I used to be with my pops and he'll walk in the store and Miss Ruby would be in there or somebody. And Miss Ruby would be like, "Hey baby." And my pops would be like, "Hey Miss Ruby, you know you looking fly today, right?" And so he'd be like, hey, and my pops would be like talking to everybody, like all these chicks and stuff, all the women. I ain't never seen him cheat. I ain't never been around him when he did nothing overt, right? But he used to be like real, like
Yeah.
real smooth with the. And so when he used to like when I used to go in the store, I used to be like, "Hey Miss Ruby, you know you looking fly today, right?" And she's like, "Boy, get out of here! You sound just like your daddy." You know, what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like 7, and these ladies like 30 or 40 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
These ladies, yeah, because even with the teachers, like the teachers would be like, "Uncle Freezy, why you ain't do such and such? You got an 80 on your thing today." And I'd be like, um, um, "Man, you know you ain't want to give me no 80. You know you want to give me an 85." You know, trying to tell like my
Yeah,
pops. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
trying to be slick with it, or like them dudes that I used to see in the movies, like Billy D. Williams,
yeah.
Sidney
Mm-hmm.
Poitier. You know what I'm saying? All these guys, from back then,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
But so to the back to the weed culture thing, big dog. The first time I think I was even around or in a group where cats was smoking, they had already graduated to blunts, right? So and no lie, I saw this dude, um, this dude that I used to live on Van Nostrand, dude used to live on Stevens,
Mm-hmm.
dude named Darius, this dude named Darius, right? And I hope this brother is alive and well because back then when we were shorties, I knew he was headed for because he was more like trying to be a street dude than me, and we was like 7. Like this dude legit had stole a pack of cigarettes from his father. You know what I'm saying? Was outside trying to smoke, and he's 7. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, this dude right here, yeah. But he was like, yo, Uncle Freezy, man, don't nobody smoke them pin joints no more. You know what I'm saying? We smoking blunts
Mm-hmm.
now, and we was like we might have been like what 11, and he lit the thing up in front of me. No, 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 no. First of all, he rolled it up in front of me, which I had never seen nothing like that in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen nobody roll a blunt before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was something brand new to me. Hey Derek, what's good? So Derek says, "What's going on, Freezy? Mind introducing me to this platform and the idea missing the Knicks." Hey, so Derek, so what this is, man, is this is a place where we come to talk about lifestyle, the impacts on our community, right? And just stuff, things in general. We come here to share stories, maybe provide some help to somebody that's seeking help if it's within our means, right? Talk
Absolutely.
talk to through and about issues that will hold our community back. You know what I'm saying? Things like um, racism, things like confrontation. Like say for instance, if me and Sin Mears, if me and Sin Mears get into a confrontation about something, the main thing we don't want to do is get to a point. Try Burrow, what's
Yo,
good?
What up?
Yo,
Hey,
yo,
hey,
salute,
What's
salute,
good, man?
salute. Peace, tribe, bro.
Salute.
hey, somebody got the joint playing in the background?
My bad. That was me. My bad.
Okay, okay, okay. Yo, so to what Derek was asking, he was like, what is this? What is this joint? Chop low. So he was like,
Chop
what is
Blue.
this
What up?
joint? So this joint here is a place where we come to chop it up, man, talk about stuff in our past, touch on community issues, you know what I'm saying? And a whole bunch of stuff, man, where we, what I'm saying, help somebody navigate through something they struggling with, share experiences, man, laugh, what I'm saying, tell some laugh, share some stories, and for the most part, put it, you know what? Kind of like what we used to do back in the day. We used to do this thing called a cipher when dudes legit set aside a block of time, right? Where they ain't gonna be disturbed. They just gonna legit chop it up about things that's on their mind. And we just gonna, what I'm saying, talk to and through issues that way. When everybody leave, hopefully everybody will leave better than they were when they came in. Yeah, that's
Right.
basically, yeah, that's basically what we doing. Like this dude told me one time, this white guy told me, so basically your cipher is like a counseling session. And I was like, I don't want it to sound corny like that, but
Yeah,
but maybe, but because we speak in a different way, and and in terms of like a therapy session, we what we gonna talk about, it's not gonna be clinical. We gonna relate to each other. Like ain't no one person gonna be in charge of the other people. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna legit talk about certain stuff. But what I was talking to about Sin Mears is the first time I was with somebody that smoked weed, right? And so Darius, he was from Stevens. Them dudes from Stevens, they was wild. I mean, they couldn't. The thing about the dudes from Stevens, right? They couldn't legit beat you off the hands. Like when we, what I'm saying, shot the fair one, they couldn't beat nobody. You know what I'm saying? Back then. But they used to always have like the cool stuff. Like dudes, legit around the corner used to have like the dopest jewelry game. They used to have the dopest chicks over there, all the new music that come out. Like I remember
yeah,
like the first time, the first time I heard Eddie Chiba was off a dude from Stevens. You know what I'm saying? He had the tape, so he came right away. He was like, "Yo, Uncle Freezy, check this out." I was like, "Nah, man, I don't want to hear no more R&B song. I don't want to hear Peaches and Herb." He's like, "Nah, dog, nah, this is something real. This is the future." I was like, "The future? What you talking about?" I was like, "Yo, I don't want to hear no Four Tops, man. I don't want to hear no Temptations." He's like, "Nah, this ain't it. That ain't it." I was like, "Yo, I don't want to hear no James Brown, man." He's like, "Nah, check this out." And so he hit play on the thing, and the dude was rapping, right? I was like, "What is that? Why he talking over the music?" And so he was like, "Nah, B, he ain't talking over. He rapping, B." It's like rapping. Rapping is what we do to each other on the street. Like, 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 like the old timers would be like, "Hey, young fella, come here, young fella. Let me holler at you for a second. Let me rap to you." You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And so, so the dude from Stevens used to always. So anyway, Darius came over. He was like, "Yo, check this out." He pulled out the cigars. I was like, "Yo, you got cigars?" He's like, "Nah, Abi, check this out. I got the herb too." I was like, "What? You gonna smoke the cigars and the herb?" He's like, "No, stupid. Pay attention." Right. So he take out the cigar. You know what I'm saying? And he take his key and bust it up. Back then, hey, think of how young we was back then. We ain't had no razors or nothing. So my man just come out, he take the key, bust up the blunt. I'm like, "Yo, what you doing?" I was going to smoke that. He was like, "Hey, stupid, pay attention." And so he take the tobacco out and he throw it on the ground. And I'm like, "Man, what are you doing?" So I take a cigar from him, right? I take a cigar and act like I know what I'm doing, but I had never smoked a cigar before.
Yeah.
But I had the front in front of my man, let him know, "Hey, dog, you know what I'm saying? I'm from these streets. The streets is me. I'm about to name this street right. We about to call this Uncle Freezy Street." Right? He like, and that's how we, so back then we used to talk bold and braggadocious like that back then. That was just the way we spoke to each other. So I get the cigar and I light it up, man, and I take this big drag off the cigar. Meanwhile, he doing this right here. He doing his rolling his blunt. And so I'm like, yo, what you doing? Why you lick it? You nasty. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, anyway, he take the lighter and he like, you know what I'm saying, doing all. So I like, you about to burn it and burn? How you gonna burn the cigar in the middle? He like, stupid. Pay attention. And so I take this big drag of cigar, right, trying to prove I'm tough. I'm like 11. I guess we like 10 or 11. I take this big drag of cigar. I swear to God, it felt like somebody reached in my chest and set my lungs on fire. Dude, I
Mhm.
legit coughed for like 7 or 8 minutes straight. He busted me in my back. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You gonna give us away. You out here coughing all loud. People looking at us.
Mhm.
And so he takes the blunt and he lights the blunt, right? He smoked. I got the cigar. I take another and I'm coughing. And but he doing a different cough, right? He doing like a different type. I didn't know what that cough was. Like now I recognize it, right? But back then, he like he doing his little cough. But I'm hacking. You know what I'm saying?
You
Uh,
dying.
yeah, I'm dying over here, dog.
Sorry, that was like cardboard, right? Because I'm born in '78, so I was smoking Philly blunts in my mind.
Um, I think we might have been on Philly,
Yeah, because
right?
when I started smoking, it was Philly and Dutch Masters and White Owls,
No, no, no,
Optimal.
no. And you know what? It's Dutch Master because
Dutch
I ain't,
Masters.
yeah.
So,
Dutchess. I
so
started
that's
on
my era
Dutchess.
growing
Yeah,
up, but I think it was Philly before we got into Dutch Masters, so you had to been in Philly
yeah,
before
yeah,
Dutch Masters came out and
yeah.
Garcia Vegas. It had to been Philly.
Yeah, because we used to how I knew cigars was because of Garcia Vegas. That's how I knew cigars, right? Because they used to do commercials during the baseball game. Like if you're a Mets fan, if you're a Mets fan, you remember the two commercials. It used to be Garcia Vega and Manufacturers Hanover, right? It used to be and what's the camera? It was like a camera commercial. Not Nikon. It was another commercial.
Polaroid.
No, I forget. I forget. It'll come to me. But so my man was smoking a blunt, and he passes it to me, like trying to pass it, and the smell to me is like repulsive. I'm like, man, I ain't smoking that. This right here smell good. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got the. So I used to read comic books, right? So I used to see dudes in the comic books hold a cigar a certain way, like in a thing, whatever, like So I'm holding a cigar in my little teeny baby 10-year-old hands, and this dude is smoking. And he like, why you let me roll up the blunt, man? If you wasn't gonna smoke, I ain't gonna smoke this whole thing by myself. And see, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I was like, smoke the whole blunt. You know what I'm saying?
How
but
old was you again?
we was like 10 or 11, something like that. But I never forget that time because it was like the time of year where you could be outside till like 8:30 at night. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So it was like might have been like spring. We still in school, so it might have been like April or May or whatever, something like that of the year. You know
Okay,
what I'm saying?
okay.
And so my man is smoking a blunt, and the gangsters, the troopers on our block walked past, and it was like, "Yo, what is y'all doing?" And so Dance is like, "Man, get out of here, man! Stop wetting me." You know what I'm saying? You're like, "Yo, stop wetting, stop sweating me." You know what I'm saying? Why you wetting me, man? Let me get my groove on. Let me do my thing. And
Yeah.
so the cats is like, "Uncle Freezy, come here." And I'm like, "Who you talking to like that?" And so these dudes was like mad older than me. Like I'm 11, so these dudes was like grown ups. They had to be at least 14 or 15 years old. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So
Mhm.
they like, "Yo, come here, man. What you doing?" And I'm like, "Yo, I'm just out here kicking it with my mans." And so they was like, "Yo, don't make me go tell your grandmother what you out here doing." And I'm like, "Oh man, you gonna snitch on me?" And they was like, "Yo, you're not supposed to be out here doing this kind of stuff." You know what I'm saying? This ain't you. You ain't about that street life, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You need to be in them books. You know what I'm saying? You got a home, you got stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your parents out here working and all this stuff, and you out here doing this. What you doing? And so I was like, and so I ain't gonna lie to you. I was more scared of my mother and my grandmother than anybody else alive. Like I don't care if you was 8 foot tall, served 50 years in
Hmm.
prison, came out rocked up. I wasn't scared of you. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
But my mother,
Hmm.
bro,
Yeah.
Listen,
my
yo, that story is great. I love that. Tell him,
mother,
Unc.
yeah. So like I legit used to put them hands on like dudes are legit and be like, yo, Uncle Freezy would beat any little boy on the street. And dudes will come up to the tennis court and throw like $2 on the ground. And then they'll, you know what I'm saying, make us fight and we'll fight, you know what I'm saying? And like, Uncle Freezy, we got like $18 on you. You better not lose this boy. And the other little boy be like, oh, but I'm gonna kill him. You know what I'm saying? They'll make like the two little pit bull puppies or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and they shouldn't have been doing that, by the way. Adults need to be more responsible, but back then, but we was in this, these dudes was in the street. They ain't have no, they moral compass was set a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? They think that like if you came on our block with that noise, the dudes
Mhm.
on the block would get rid of you. Like if you came on our street trying to steal cars or mug some or you know what I'm saying, try to mug somebody or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We policed ourselves because the police would never come on our street, right?
Yeah.
We lived on the hill. The police by the time the police come, it'll be like 8 hours later. You know what I'm saying? So
Body done been out there all day, all night.
right, yeah,
They
everybody look,
come late.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. You had to legit. I remember dudes legit had to take the bus down to the hospital if they were sick, or they had to walk to Kennedy Hospital down on Kennedy Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? If they were sick,
Damn.
because the ambulance wasn't coming. I'm telling you this. I know. I've seen this with my own eyes. So
Yo, can I say something? Yo,
yeah,
listen, man. What you said, cause that made me think about like I remember the OGs too growing up, and then they always heard this thing about I guess our era. We dropped the ball for the younger generation, but I remember like you said, the OGs like yo, my mom, rest in peace, my mom, she died in 1998. Like what you doing over here? I'm gonna go tell Miss Evelyn. Like that's my mom's name, Miss Evelyn. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like yeah, I remember the OGs used to be like that. Yo, what you doing? You can't even be a man. I remember that growing
Yeah,
up
man.
as a
Hey,
little kid in the hood. I'm gonna
yeah,
go tell Miss Evelyn. Don't let me
and
get your
peace to
mama.
your
I'm
mom.
like,
Right,
oh,
right. I'm telling you, and peace to your moms in heaven. By the way, as soon as you told me that, man, I was sad. I remember the first time you told me, I was sad about that. And not being a softie or whatever, but
nah,
when you
nah,
don't
nah.
have
It's all love.
when you don't have like when people you know what I'm saying pass out your life, you know what I'm saying you have that feeling. It really set in that you ain't gonna never be able to experience anything with them again. Like my little brother passed away like a year and a half ago. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so my little brother used to be with me on a lot of this stuff. Like my little brother used to be like, man, he's like, man, Uncle Freezy, you so cool. You smoked a cigar? Like, yeah, man, I smoked that joint. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so he was like a few years younger than me. So what he used to do, like when I used to do stuff, he could like go back and brag to his friends, like, my older brother did such and such. Your brother a punk. My, hey, try you got any experience with that? Like you know what I'm saying, the weed
I
culture?
definitely like understand like when you say like when you lose like a loved one, you like you that realization come to your head that you never gonna see them ever again.
Right.
Because like I lost like my grandparents on both sides of my family, and my aunt died from cancer. But what kept me out of trouble was hip hop. Hip hop, it kept me sane. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I could have lost my mind and losing people. I lost homeboys that got killed or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wasn't running on the street corner. I was like at the crib, and hip hop is what kept me here. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel you when you say like you're like when you lose a loved one, like you're never gonna see them again. So it's like you gotta find that peace within yourself. Like people could have got strung out on drugs or liquor,
You know what I'm saying? But that hip hop kept me sane, yo. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, man. Hey, so the thing with the hip hop culture, right? I'll never forget, man. So we sitting on the porch, man. We old enough to like girls now. You know what I'm saying? So now, what I'm saying, I got my do rag on. I'm trying to keep these waves. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep my sneakers clean. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking the Clyde Frazier's. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Rocking the wife beaters. Back then we used to wear BBDs. We didn't call them wife beaters back then. But the BBDs used to come in all different colors, you know what I'm saying, the silk joints or whatever. So I'm out there, I'm thinking I'm fly.
So
My
joints.
grandmother got me this fake chain out of Finger Hut. I don't know if y'all remember Finger Hut, but she got me this fake chain, and it came with the wrong letter. I think they sent her, instead of sending an F, they sent her a B. And I was so thirsty for the necklace, I was like, yo, I'm gonna wear it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, I'm outside, man, and I was a real skinny dude. When I say skinny, I mean skinny. I'm talking about like mad thin. I'm talking about like the thinnest person yet, like Manute Bol skinny. You know what I'm saying?
Bobo.
Yeah, like Bol skinny. Yeah, man. And so the thing about me is back then I wanted to be a street dude so bad, but it wasn't in me. That's not who I was, and I'm not that person now. You know what I'm saying? I don't pretend to be like of the streets. I grew up in those streets. Now I grew up in those streets,
Yeah.
but the street life wasn't my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like legit, I did like to read. You know what I'm saying? And I did like to watch. You know what I'm saying? PBS and all this stuff. I did like to take tests. I did like to get good grades in school. You know what I'm saying? I did like to do all those things. I was a bookworm. I did like to draw. You know what I'm saying? All those things that so anyway. So when hip hop first started coming out, we would hear it like on tapes, right? Because it was like every time it would come on live, we would miss it. You know what I'm saying? They was like it was like kind of like how we doing right now, trying to establish a day and time for this
Yeah.
joint that we get the biggest audience. Hip hop was doing that back in the day. Like, do you like they ain't gonna play it during the middle of the day? Do you play it at 8 o'clock at night, or do you play it at 1 o'clock in the morning, or do you play it at 5 o'clock in the morning? You know what I'm saying? It's trying to. So I never forget. We on a stoop. We on the front stoop, chilling, and joint called "Good Times" comes on. Good time. Mm,
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 mm, mm,
mm,
mm,
oh.
mm, mm,
And then
mm,
and so and so I'm like, they ain't singing. This must be like the long version because back in the day when we used to buy the record, it used to have like mad versions on it, like
yeah, yeah.
radio edit, super remix, disco version, all these different joints. So I'm like, okay, so he must be playing like the long edit or whatever. And so I hear this dude start talking over it. He was like, dude said, um, and what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat. It's me, my crew, and something. I'm gonna try to move your feet. I am Wonder Mike, and I like to say hello. And I'm like, okay, what is
Mm.
this? What is this? This right here. This is dope. This is dope. You know what I'm saying? And right then, I was like, okay, this right here is the future, right? This is the future. Because the closest thing I had heard to this is reggae, right? And I'm talking about reggae town. I'm talking about chanting. I'm not talking about the souped up disco, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about Wayne Wonder, right? I'm talking about legit disco. I'm sorry, legit reggae, right? So I'm talking about, what I'm saying, legit Caribbean reggae, not reggae made in New York or made in Atlanta. I'm talking about like old school reggae. Like you could, it sounded like, so they were chanting, so it sounded like hip hop, right? Or it sounded like rap, but it was different. I just couldn't at the time. Reggae wasn't my thing. I was too young to understand. Like legit, I was too young to understand what it was that they were chanting about. Like I didn't know anything about poverty in another country. I was busy living poverty in my own country. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So
yeah.
so I was too young to get what they were saying, right? But I heard these dudes rap, and then all of a sudden it exploded. Like it went from like us like scurrying to the radio to press record to now you don't even have to press record no more because they selling it in the store. It was like, what? They selling this stuff? They they selling these joints in Crazy Eddie, right? You can legit go to Crazy Eddie and get, you know what I'm saying, and go to a section. They have their own section in Crazy Eddie. This is crazy.
The
Because
original Crazy Eddies. Remember the commercial? Crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. And so we like, yo, you can legit go in Crazy Eddie or Sam Goody, and they have their own section in there. And back then they used to have a section called Black Music, which now I look back on, and I'm like, yeah,
I
but
never
but
noticed that when I was younger. Yeah.
yeah. So and this was like late 70s, early 80s, like Black music. And then once you got in Black music, they're separated between soul, R&B, funk, and then soul, R&B, funk, and rap used to be in the R&B section, but rap wasn't necessarily R&B. He said rap was rap. You know what I'm saying? So we go in, we look, and no lie, and I know Tri-Borough Gigolo gonna be mad at me for saying this, but rap used to be so whack back in the day. Like you legit, you had to find a gem out of all the trash. You know what I'm saying? That's why everybody was like, "Yo, I can do it. If this Joker here can do that, I can do it." And rappers start popping up everywhere. Yeah, because dudes have a record. It'll be 11 minutes long, right? And his best verse will be, um, "Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got a stick of juicy fruit and a pocket full of loot, somebody say, oh yeah, all right, rock the house tonight," or something. And that'll be their best verse in like 11 minutes worth of music, right? And you're like, yeah, this right, this right here. And then, but then you had others who were like the hidden gems, like this dude named Casanova Fly, Grandmaster Caz, right? He was like
Mm.
he was like the Langston Hughes of rap music. Like what he was saying was like so eloquent and poetic to what was going on. Like he could legit talk about the stuff that we go through. Like like getting to the bus stop and hearing and seeing the bus taking off down the street. Now you know you gotta wait like 15 more minutes for the next bus to come. And you out there in the cold, and then you look at your hand and realize you ain't got enough change. So now you got to run to the store and get enough change and be back before the next bus come, and you already late. You know what I'm saying? So he rapped about, he could rap about stuff like that. See, that's the fight of an inner city cat like myself. See, I can
Yeah.
understand that and I can dig it. And to hear a dude rap about that, I'm like, yo, nah, this dude right here is something special. But you couldn't hear him on the radio. All you heard on the radio was, "Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care." And you're like, man, this trash. What is this? But we loved it. But we loved it so much that we would listen to, like, we would legit listen to 2 hours worth of trash in order to hear the Treacherous Three. Like the Treacherous Three had this joint called Heartbeat, where they took the Tanya Gardner joint, Heartbeat. I mean,
Mhm.
you know what I'm
Classic
saying?
song.
Yeah, and so they had this joint, feel the heartbeat, feel the heartbeat, feel the heartbeat, and it was so dope that what I'm saying, we would legit wait 2 hours on the front stoop. And so shout out to Sim Russell because he's got a channel called the Front Stoop. Y'all check that out. Subscribe to the channel and whatever. So, but we would wait like 2 hours through trash hip hop to get to Heartbeat. And when it come on, everybody, I believe everybody in the tri-state area would press record and record that joint.
Yes, you had to wait, and then you. I was just thinking about that. You had to record on the radio. Sometimes you forget it. I'm gonna record the commercials too. Just
Yep,
yeah.
yep,
On
yep.
cassette tape too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And so part of our culture was like learning how to be in these streets and survive, but also how to model these streets. You know what I'm saying? And also push our culture forward with stuff. And I know we started off this live stream by talking about sexuality, like the different parts or whatever. And part of that has to do with our culture too, because without the girls, see the girls, they had the same culture, but they did other stuff that represented for the culture. Say for instance, when I was a shorty, the hairstyle to have was the natural. Like somebody would legit wash your hair and they would blow it out and you just have a natural, right? It just your hair just it look like a big old circle on your joint. You know what I'm saying? And I think some people call it an afro. But back then we used to call it a natural. We don't even know where the word afro came from. Maybe some smart white marketing guy said, that look, Afrocentric. We would call that an afro, but that's not what we called it back then. You know what I'm saying? But in hip hop, when the girls, what they started doing stuff in their hair first. Like they started cutting it a certain way, right? Or started braiding it a certain way. Like like they came out of the beads culture. Y'all remember when girls used to rock beads all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
They came out of the beads culture and started doing like they started looking like salt and pepper, basically, is what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? Like the girls legit started repping, what I'm saying, for our culture doing stuff first. You know what I'm saying? Like the girls started experimenting with sneakers first, right? Like because with the fellas, we like, yo, if it ain't this, it's whack. If it ain't that, it's whack. You know what I'm saying? Instead of experimenting. I remember seeing Deodoras way before we started rocking them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I remember seeing spot belts way before, what I'm saying, dudes on the boulevard start rocking them. You know what I'm saying? Like if it wasn't Adidas or Pumas or that one thing of Nike, like the Nike Cortez, the Puff Nikes, if it wasn't them, people wasn't rocking it. They just wasn't going, you just had, no lie, we would buy 10 or 12 different colors of the same type shoe. Like I remember I had three different colors of the Clyde Frazier's, three different colors of the Ralph Sampson Pumas. You know what I'm saying? The red with the black
Yeah.
stripe. You know what I'm saying? The black with the silver stripe, the navy blue with the silver stripe. But I wouldn't go buy lottos. No matter what it was, no matter how fly the lottos was, I wouldn't buy them until like this certain time, like the mid '80s. It was like, you just be who you are. Like Run DMC had this joint called My Adidas,
Mm-hmm.
and they talk about the exact same thing I'm telling you about. Like
Yeah.
they legit said they only rock certain type shoes, and they would get them in all different colors. You know what I'm saying? And put different kind of shoelaces in them if they put shoelaces in them at all, right? And then there was like this high watermark. I think it's the Jordan era when the first time the Jordans came out.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, okay, now you can just experiment and get whatever kind of shoe you want.
Right.
So
No, that's crazy. That's crazy. Deodoras is still fire though. I'll still grab a pair of Deodoras though.
yes,
Easily. Like
yeah, man. Right now, I would rock anything, to be honest with you. If it's fly, hold
So
on.
what's your sneaker of choice right now, Freezy? What you rocking now?
Um, I will rock just about anything, man. If it's fly, my favorite shoe is the Jordan 11.
Okay.
Right, that's my go-to. Like the ruby red joints.
Right.
I will legit. Hey, hold on for a second, y'all.
Yeah.
okay. Nah, I think I'm gonna go with the 11 to this fire Freezy. I can't even hold you. You can't go wrong with some low. No, uptowns all the way up,
Sometimes.
all whites.
Classic. That's just classic sneaker though. That never gets old.
Nah, never. And that's like bigger part of the culture. So,
Right.
or I mean, especially for the summer. Where you going?
So let me ask y'all this. So
Mhm.
so when did y'all get into the Timberland culture?
My first pair of Timbs was like 1990, 91. I was still in like junior high when I got those, and then everybody was rocking it. And I got the trucker joints. It wasn't even the construction ones yet. It was like the trucker joints, like the brown joints with like the orange bottom and the green. And I went to like there used to be an old store downtown Brooklyn named Mr. Sports, and I got it from there. And then like I just every year I just kept getting more. I got the construction joints. I got the beef and broccoli joints when those came out. You know the macaron, the mac and cheese joints. So every year I just kept getting them, and they just became my boots of choice. Cause I mean before then I was rocking like I think it was like thin sulet, the thin sulet boots or whatever.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But once I got Tim's, I like this is my boots of right. And even when like the polo scene was always big. Even when niggas was rocking like the polo boots, I was like, I'm staying with the Tim's. You had people rocking the what was it? What was the other boots though? The waterproof joints. I
The
forgot the name of those joints.
ACGs.
Nah. It was I forgot the name of those. It was in the '90s though. It was like some waterproof boots. And then when
Mm.
the ACGs came out, I got those because of cause I seen Jim Jones and Dipset rock those so much. So I'm like, yo, I gotta get a pair of those. And but Tim's is always my favorite boots. That's still my favorite pair of boots.
Right.
That's a fact. I got into it early. My step pop stayed, kept me in the pit Timbs. So at first it was hard to walk in them. I used to always scrape up the bottom and they be uneven, so I gotta get another pair.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
after a while, like, and I always keep. I got a pair now. I didn't even touch it. Always.
yeah, man. I used to, man. So I'm not a big Timberland fan, right? And the reason why is because when they first came out, I was so skinny. I was so tall and skinny. When I used to get them, I used to walk like Pink Panther. Y'all remember Pink Panther? Yeah, I
Yeah.
used to look like the Pink Panther walking them because they were so heavy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I don't know if I'm feeling these. You know what I'm saying? But and then when I got older, I was like, yo, I got to get back to them. Tim's was a. And then when I got, and I was like, man, these joints, man, I don't know if I'm. You know what I'm saying? And then, but then plus, so I live in the Carolinas now. I don't live in Jersey no more, right? So Timberlands down here, I'm like, man, what I need Tim's for? You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna never be no thing. But I tell you what I did get into, and this will tell you how the older you get, the more open you are to being bougie. And I'm not saying being bougie. I'm saying open to being bougie. So I fell in love with this shoe brand called Cole Haan, right? They make these joints. At the first time I bought some, I bought them because they were expensive, right? Like I wanted to show off with my boys. And my man was like, man, you wearing them granddaddy shoes? And I'm like, big dog, these granddaddy shoes cost $429. And he was like, $429? You crazy. And I was like, yeah, they fly now, right? He's like, yeah, they fly. And I was like, yeah, a few seconds ago you said they was granddaddy shoes, but now they fly. Nah, they 429. They built good. Free, stop taking things so serious. So it lets you know that brands that put out quality will get respect from other people. You know what I'm saying? And so I wear 14, right? So when I go get a shoe, you already know I'm getting mugged off top. First of
Yeah.
all, they ain't gonna have none in my size, and then when I do find them, you already know that I'm gonna get the big boy tax. Like the
Yeah.
bigger they are, the more they gonna cost. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah, man. So
That's crazy. Oh, you was ordering online before people was really ordering online.
yeah, yeah, I had to.
Or
Yeah, I had to. I had to go to the website. You know what I'm saying? They ask you all these 50,000 questions. And I was like, why are you asking me all these 50,000 questions? Why do you need to know about shoe width? I mean, foot width and conditions, where you gonna wear? Why do you need to know all this stuff? And what I found is I'm glad they asked me that because after when you get them, they perfect. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to try them on, send them back, try them on, send them back, try them on, send them back. So yeah, man. Hey, Chop, you still there? I guess Chop then pieced out. But
Shop on
um,
halftime right now. So go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, man. Hey, so Sam, man, why you let me dominate the conversation, man? What's good?
Nah. I like I'm used to it. My bad. I'm used to it. I'm used to it. But all right, so you still we still gotta talk about the jewels that you gotta drop for the youth. Things that you would they say hindsight is 2020. So what you see looking back.
Um, I guess you look at it like in a couple different ways, right? So for one, sometimes the jewels you drop on somebody may be too heavy for them, right? So what you want to do is not drop the jewel, but lead them, put them on a path where they can find the jewel on their own, right? And so they can digest it a little at a time. Like what dudes used to tell me back in the day. They'd say stuff like me and my homeboys would be walking around the street, what I'm saying, with the ice grill, mean face, mean mugging for no reason, right? Just because we ain't got nothing to do. Like, just a whole bunch of 9-year-olds. We just looking for something, some kind of devilment to get into. And the old timers just put me to the side and be like, hey, be easy, young fella, and walk off. I'm like, be easy? What are you talking about? Oh man, why you?
Mhm.
And so now when I see dudes younger than me, like 35, 40, what I'm saying, they, what I'm saying, payday come, they gotta pay all their bills, they ain't gonna have no money. What I'm saying? They be like, man, I don't know how I'm like, hey, be easy, young fella. What I'm saying? And what basically what I'm telling them is man, take it one day at a time. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Don't create more steps. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't create missteps in the process of trying to create more steps. Just do it one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? Don't create hindrances for yourself when you don't have to. Just take a deep breath, man. Do play it one day at a time. Just do what you can, and whatever you can't do, don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? An old man told me that when I was walking around, 9 years old, but he said it differently. He was like, "Yo, be easy, young fella." Right? Or like when I see somebody that's stressed out, right? Somebody that'll be stressed because of all the things that they encounter. And everybody's life is different. And the burden people can bear is different, right? So what I tell them is, man, listen, take your time. That's it. Take deep breaths, man. You no matter what happens in life, no matter what happens in life, you can only do it one step at a time. Right. Like this dude, like
Yeah.
like like I know a dude, a young dude. He might be watching right now, so I ain't gonna say his name, right? But I feel like he respect me, right? So something happened at work. He get mad. He go home, and then he get into a beef with his girl, and his girl put him out, right? And so he see me, and he like, yo, she tripping, man. I'm out here working 2 jobs, trying to do all this stuff, and then I come home and she tripping. And so the first thing I ask, I'm like, you sure she was tripping or were you tripping? Right?
Right.
And he's like, yo, what you mean? What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? I'm tripping. I'm like, yo, was it her tripping or did you bring troubles from the world into your home?
Mhm.
And he was like, I see where you're going with that, but and I'm like, and he like, yo, she got to understand. Like, no, dog, she don't have to understand.
Yeah.
What you have to learn how to compartmentalize stuff. Stuff that frustrates you ain't always meant for other people. You know what I'm saying? If you frustrated about something, figure out a way to dissolve that frustration yourself and not project it onto somebody else. Right? Just learn how to do that. And so he was like, well, how do you do that, man? You sound like such and such. Like, nah, dog. What I sound like is somebody that made all those mistakes that you made, but by the grace of God, I made it through it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Without doing something reckless or dangerous that I'll regret like 30 years down the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so my man's is like, I wish everybody had somebody to talk to like you. You know what I'm saying? Like I can legit come talk to you. I'll be like, hey dog, I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes I don't even want to hear that.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
at other time, at other times, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I welcome that because I don't want. I would prefer not to eat my lunch and just eat my meal later and help somebody who needs some help than to eat a sandwich and then somebody go home and then do something crazy. You,
Sure
you know what I
indeed.
mean?
Sure indeed.
Yeah. And sometimes you got to look at it in a practical sense. Like, this dude, man, I really want to talk. I really need somebody to talk to and diffuse this thing going on in my mind. Right. Yeah. And so, we have to look at stuff like for how stressful this issue is, how important is it really? Right. Like a dude legit came to me. He's like, yo, let me borrow $10. And I was like, for what? And he was like, yo, I ain't got no cash. I don't have no cash. So such and such that. And I was like, dog, you just bought rims for your truck last week. And he was like, exactly, Uncle Freezy. That's why you need to let me borrow this $10. And I'm like, what? You bought rims for your truck last week, and now you don't have, what I'm saying, $10 to get you. He's like, man, it's Tuesday. I'll pay you back Friday. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, bro, the issue is not paying me back. The issue is you being irresponsible with your money. And he's like, man, I don't want to hear that, man. I'm a grown up. I'm a grown man. You ain't gonna tell me what to do with my money. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm a grown man, and you ain't gonna ready to tell me what to do with my money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so his frustration is so dudes that he hang out with had money to buy rims, and so he felt like his self worth was not as high as it should be because he didn't have rims. So he went out and bought rims, and now he ain't got no money, and now he like Uncle Freezy, let me borrow $10. $10 ain't nothing. $10 ain't nothing, man. I feel like if I loan somebody $10 down the road, I may get blessed with $100. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? But my thing is you gotta realize what stresses are and put importance on them, right? Like somebody saying something bad about you, that ain't really important. Somebody like somebody like legit, if somebody say something bad about the Triborough Gigolo, it ain't that important. It shouldn't stress you. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody sullying your name, that ain't important. That shouldn't stress you. Keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us have friends and loved ones that didn't make it to this day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm worried about somebody saying, "Hey, Uncle Freezy do that next channel, he a homer." I'm like, so what? So what? That don't bother me. Or somebody be like, man, Uncle Freezy be doing all these live streams, all he want to do is talk. So, so
Yeah.
that don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? What the stuff that do bother me now is like I was in a room watching my little brother fight for his life, right? That stressed me. You know why? You know why? Because he was in the fight of his life. It was just him and God, right? Him and God, right? Just the medical staff. They come in, they do what they can do, but they mortal, they men and women for those females and stuff. But all they could do is do the best they can do. Well, my little brother was in a room in ICU for months, like fighting for his life. Like people was giving up on him every day. Like people was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Yo, why don't you give up on him, man? You see he's struggling." Like, nah, we ain't giving up on nothing. We, we ain't giving up on nothing. We don't give up on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because because people say this thing, strength in numbers. That's true, right? But you also have to have the strength of spirit. So for young people out there, you need to have this strength of spirit, like this unbreakable spirit. Like if you believe in something, if you believe in it, right, you have to have strength in it too, right? Don't be unbreakable, right? No matter how much stress or
Mm,
things come your way, be unbreakable. And it's easier than what you think,
yeah.
right? Because all you have to do it, just like the old man told me when I was a little boy, be easy. One day at a time. That's all you have to do, just one day at a time, right? Like if you want to move a mountain, if you want to move a mountain, right? You ain't got to get under the mountain and then try to carry it off on your shoulder. All you gotta do is get a cup of dirt every day. Just go to that mountain, get a little cup of dirt, and just move it out the way. Move it, move it, move it, move it, move it. Every day, just be consistent, and before you know it, the mountain ain't there no more. And I know people sound like people will say, "Man, that's crazy. That's pie in the sky. Real life don't work like that." But I'll tell you, it does. Because before I started doing these live streams and getting on the internet and all that stuff, people used to tell me, "Ain't nothing but trolls out there. All people want to do is troll you and do such and such and such and such." I was like, "Nah, man, there's good people out there on the internet, and I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna group them together, and we gonna form a justice league. It's gonna be a bunch of us." That was my goal, like legit. Yeah, I know it's trolls out there. I'm trolls. I know y'all out there. You know what I'm saying? But y'all ain't the type of people that I'm looking for, right?
Mm,
I used to tell myself way back like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Whenever I first did the thing with Sim, like I saw Sim, I was at the hospital and I listened to Sim do nothing but nicks. Sim Russell do nothing but nicks. I was like, I like that fella, right? So I jumped on the joint with him and we just talked. The show went off, and then me and him talked for like an hour, right? And I was mostly doing the listening because I was going through some stuff and I didn't want to share it because I was nervous that if I had shared what I was going through, this cat that I just met would look at me as if I'm weak. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't hardly talk, had tears in my eyes. My brother upstairs fighting for his life. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting in the dark. This dude can't hardly see my face. I'm thinking like, what my life be like if my little brother passed away? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about
mm,
all these, but I'm talking to a dude and he talking about other stuff. And so I just listened and listened and listened. And then occasionally I chime in and say something like, be easy, young fella. Take it one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the older cats had told me. That gem that old man had gave me, see, that gem that he gave me wasn't too heavy. It was just heavy enough for me to carry it and for me to be grounded with it. So the gem he gave me kept me grounded, right? And so I'm sure the dude that told me that has passed away because back then I was like 9, the dude was like 60. You know what I'm saying? So that dude must be like 150 years old by now, or whatever. But the thing is he took time enough out of his day to drop a gem, and I carried that with me for the rest of my life, and I try to drop them gems on others. Like I'm not legit gonna get on like live streams or whatever and try to sound like a fortune cookie because that ain't the way to go. You know what I'm saying? But what I will do
Mhm.
is I get around people. I get around people that I like, and I'll pass the joints that legit have helped me make it through. Like, man, I used to be real stressed. Man, I used to have, man, man. So when it comes to anger issues, the Incredible Hulk used to be nothing, right? When I was like in my late 20s and early 30s, I used to be so angry and so mad all the time, but I couldn't figure it out, right? People were like, man, that dude always be mad about something, always complaining about something. And then one day it just clicked. Like, why are you so mad? What you mad about? Why you always so frustrated? And I'm like, and I used to, such and such ain't going my way. And then I started laughing, like, really? That's what you mad about? You know what I'm saying? Like you asked the dude not to put onions on your joint and he put onions on it anyway. Now you want to go back in the joint and fight him? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Yeah, I mean, come on, man. I mean, come on. I mean, really? You know what I'm saying? Like you come outside and you got a flat tire and you out here losing your mind kicking the car. Really? It's just a flat tire, dog. Just change the tire. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really? Or you go somewhere with your lady and she fly. You know what I'm saying? And her sensuality is on point. Like when she walk or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It keep your attention. And then you go out in public and you mad because other dudes is looking, right? I mean, why you mad? If you have that reaction to her, other dudes might have the same. As long as they don't touch her or say something stupid, you know what I'm saying? But as long as they don't be disrespectful, we straight. But other dudes be proud. You know what I'm saying? You be like, yo, that's your lady right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, at the end of the day, y'all going home together. You know what I'm saying? And you should appreciate it and respect her. You know what I'm saying? And some of my friends be like, they don't take their girl nowhere because they scared dudes will be looking at her. And I'm like, dog, what? Don't, man, listen. Don't be afraid of. Man, listen. If she beautiful and gorgeous to your eye, right? If she beautiful and gorgeous to your eye, other dudes might look at her. You know what I'm saying? But don't think that's her trying to you know what I'm saying, trying to mess with every man in the supermarket. That ain't true. That ain't true. If she fly to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mad because she went and got the tomatoes and dudes looked at her go get the tomatoes. Man, she fly. Now you mad. Now you don't even eat tomatoes no more. You know what I'm saying?
Who that that gave those tomatoes?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so the gym that, or not gym, but the thought I would say to other cancers, hey, just take it one step at a time, man. Be easy. You know what I'm saying? If somebody sullies Sin Mears' name, you know what I'm saying? We might get frustrated with them, but we ain't gonna change our whole lifestyle based on somebody saying something disrespectful about Sin Mears. We'll let it rock. And if you keep disrespectful, we're gonna check it. But for if somebody say, yo, every time I see Sin Mears, he be doing live streams with Uncle Freezy. He ain't got no life.
Yeah.
And whatever, I'm like, whatever. Let them talk.
Yeah.
Let,
Yeah.
let- let
Yeah.
them talk. B.
I don't know, like that's just more indicative on whoever, or whatever the person who's saying is going through, like something they see in you that that makes them envious. In a sense, maybe not. Either way, like you said, take your time and just take your time. It don't even matter. It's not stopping you. It's not harming you. Um, if it does get out of line, disrespectful, then of course you gotta check. You gotta check it.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, no doubt, no doubt.
Of
But
course.
but if it's a feather in the wind, I'm not chasing it. If it's a feather in the wind, I'm not chasing it. Some stuff you got to keep your feet on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you don't give a F, right? You just keep doing what you gotta do, right? Cutting good true cause loving on your heart, yeah? We don't care what anybody say, yeah?
Right. And so I'll say it like this. So I think I use perspective, right? Like the when the old timers pull me to the side, right? The old timers will be like, they'll say something like, Uncle Freezy, listen, I like how you um like say for instance, so I'm in this organization, right? And they'd be like, hey, Uncle Freezy, I like how you lead these young guys. You know what I'm saying? They look up to you, they respect you. The stuff that you say, you try to model it. You know what I'm saying? And so it don't look as if you say one thing, you do something else. You do, you know what I'm saying? You try to model what it is you do. Let your actions or let your words be a representation of how you live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the words are a manifestation of things in your heart, right? So if your mouth is ugly, you know what I'm saying? Your mouth is ugly. That means, your heart is ugly. You know what I'm saying? What's inside? Because you basically, your heart is a manifestation of like the stuff that you say, right? And so, and when I be around for, I'll make sure that I try to. And listen, I'm not perfect
Yeah.
either. I'm not perfect. Like I told Sin Mears, um, maybe it's been a month ago. Like I'm trying to go vegan, and my weakness is textures. Like when you vegan, you miss certain things, man. You just don't, and you don't realize it until you start, right? Legit, I legit go vegan 3 times a year because I fall off the wagon, but I get back on. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I get back on, right? And so one of these days I'll figure it out because in my heart that's what I want to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. But like most people, you know what I'm saying, most tries comes from a fail and a lead to a fail. But you keep trying. You never give up. You try it and you fail. You try it and you fail. You try it. And even if you fail, you try it again, right? If it's something that you want to do. So, hey, Trevor, I'm sorry about getting chatty, man. I promise you I'll do better on the next
Nah,
live
it's all
stream, man.
good. It's all good. It's just I'm blessed to be back here with you and the fellas. So you know.
Yeah, man. I be trying not to get too chatty on Sin Mears, but he be setting me up with these topics, man. Yo, hey, Chop, you still there? I think Chop is cooking, man.
Yeah, now I'm still here. I try to show Sin Mans. I done made the ultimate sandwich. I didn't want you to see it while you was talking, but it has a little meat in it. I'm like, I don't want them to see it, but uh,
Yeah, man.
Salute, salute, salute. I
Yo,
see you,
God
Chop.
bless you,
That's what's
Chopper.
up.
God bless you. You know we love you,
yeah, man. Hey. So we have to reciprocate that thing in all directions too. Like even
Absolutely,
though
absolutely.
even though even though I don't tell everybody that I love them directly, I need for them to feel that indirectly. You know what I'm saying? Like they know, like you know what I'm saying. The love that we have, that we need to model that, so the cats that come behind us or the cats that are around us can reciprocate also. Love. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, yeah.
at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, this is what I kind of do this for, the fellowship and the love, man. So cats will know in they everyday struggle, like they legit leave out the apartment, you know what I'm saying, walk downstairs, you know what I'm saying, go to the store. They like, man, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes they might feel isolated, right? Especially now with the conditions going on in the world or whatever. But the thing is they need to know that they not isolated. They're not in this on this earth by themselves. And other
we
people.
in that together.
Yeah, man. We need to let people know that there is love out here. And I know sometimes we had to, depending on where you grew up at and the environment that you grew up in, showing love meant that you were soft, right? And you probably and in survival mode, you got to make sure that you don't let people feel like you soft or they're gonna take advantage of you, right? But I'm here to say, man, survive for one, but still remember that you know what I'm saying, that love is out here. Love is the key to everything, man. Love is the key to everything I said tonight. Everything I said tonight was born out of love. Like you remember when I said Darius came right from around the corner on Stevens,
Yeah,
and me and him were getting the devilment together.
yeah.
That's because that cat loved me, man. We were about the same age, right? That cat legit loved me. We were the same age. We used to hang out and do devilment on the street. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And so all the stuff that it's about, man, the fellowship, my brother, like people being together or whatever.
And yo,
Absolutely.
with that being said, listen, man, and not for nothing, but if you ever listen to Kelly Price, he got that song, man. Martell Jordan was on there. Um, Drew Hill was on there. Love Sets You Free. Kelly Price, man, listen to that, man. Cause what Uncle Peter saying, yo, that's for real. That's love. That's hip hop, if you will. Yeah, listen to that joint.
Yeah,
Love
man.
Sets You Free. Kelly Price.
Hey, and Chop, yo, I saw the video that you sent, the food thing. Yo, that's dope. But I had already been watching him.
Oh, you follow him? I've been watching him too. I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
him and JL Jupiter.
Yeah,
Yeah, I watched him and JL Jupiter.
man, them guys dope, man. I follow them, man.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, so Sin Miz, let me ask you this: if you could do one thing over in your life, based on what you know now, what is it that you would do over? And I'm not talking about like going back and redoing it, not knowing.
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah,
about with all the experience you gain right now,
yeah.
and you can go back into that time and do it over. What would you do?
Uh, Probably try harder at school. So I didn't take. I think it was like my SAT. I would probably try. I would probably took my SAT, like just to see where I would have really went if I would have applied that type of energy to school, regardless of how I really feel about education at that level. Like I really feel like if I would have gave it that energy that we give things, then yeah. If I had to pick, if not, if I don't have to pick, if it's not a gun in my head, I feel like we right where we supposed to be. Everybody is right where they supposed to be in life. So
Right. Right. One step at a time. Right. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I could do it over, and I feel you that destiny puts us in a place where we're supposed to be.
yeah,
Right. Right. But if I could do some things over, I would definitely revisit those times that I tried to skip steps and fast forward life. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, let's say for instance, like with my kids, like sometimes I would say when because they grew up differently from me, right? They grew up, man, with a backyard, a front yard. They had fences and dogs, puppies. You know what I'm saying? They wake up, man, go outside, there be butterflies in the yard. You know what I'm saying? At nighttime, it'd be lightning bugs outside. And they would be like enjoying that. But the Jersey City in me was like, man, y'all so soft. What y'all seeing butterflies, man? You gonna be a soft man. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to force them to be something that they're not.
yeah,
And so what I would do is go back to that time and just be a dad. Like like let them enjoy their moments. You know what I'm saying? Let them chase them lightning bugs and try to put them in the glass. You know what I'm saying? Let them
yeah, man. Because those are the times of childhood. Those is like the best times, like those
yeah.
carefree moments, like especially as a child, like catching lightning bugs, like.
Yeah, yeah. And and
So,
and so they grew up down here. And and so, where it's grass and fresh air and people in general cared about them, you know what I'm saying, cared about their well being. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like they legit would call me like, hey, Uncle Freezy, Wright didn't do his homework last night. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, well, what you want me to do? Like, make sure he do his homework tonight. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? And
mm-hmm.
so when I was in Jersey City, if you ain't do your homework, they would just give you an F until you fail.
Yeah, until you feel that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It ain't their job to be your parent and your teacher. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And so what I would do is if I can rewrite the memories, right? What I would do is or if I can rewrite the way things played out, man, what I would do is um go back to that time where I felt like, I made mistakes, especially like with relationships, either trying to rush relationships or trying to alter relationships because of myself. Like, stop being so dominant and be more peaceful. Like now I'm in a mindset where, like, say for instance, say if me and Triborough Gigolo don't speak to each other for 4 or 5 weeks, right? Right? I ain't
Mm-hmm.
salty. I ain't gonna be like, man, who Triborough Gigolo think he is not talking to me? He ain't call me, he ain't hit me up a night, and he ain't check on me a neck. Now I don't be like that. I'll be like, I give my man some room. And then the next time I see him, he know it's gonna be this relationship gonna be in the same place where we left it at. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Ain't no weird shady stuff going on. It's all love. Same thing with me and Sin Mears. Like me and Sin Mears don't see each other. Say we'll see each other in about a week, right? The way I feel about Sin Mears and the way he feel about me is gonna be in the same place where we left it at. You know what
Absolutely,
I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Yeah, it ain't me and Chop Low text me about 4 or 5 times every day, and I be looking forward to it. And sometimes I have time to respond, but and then other times I don't. But Chop Low know that you know what I'm saying, the way I love Chop Low, right? He know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is with Chop, if I don't respond, he'll be like, yo. this dude Uncle Freezie done got the big head. You know what I'm saying? It ain't never that. It ain't never that. So what I'm getting at is I should have been. I wish I could have been in that mindset like 30 years ago. But the thing about it is you have to learn through trial and error. You have to kind of have to be easy. You know what I'm saying? And kind of do things one step at a time.
True indeed. True indeed.
Hey, so Trial Barrel, am I wrong? Am I did I miss something?
Nah, you
Am I too soft? That's what it is.
nah, you right.
A
I
dude
agree
dude
with
the other day
everything.
called me soft, and I was like about to sweat. I was like, I was, how somebody can say a buzzword, they'll buzz you and
Right.
kind of trigger you to get into that, slap the taste out of somebody's mouth mode. You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, nah, man, this dude here, he ain't even worth. So this dude right here, he ain't worth that, man. You don't want. You know what I'm saying? So try. I think you kind of holding something back on us, man. What is it? I got that sense that you're holding something back, like you want to tell me something.
I'm chilling, man.
I think Charbaro like, man, I ain't never thought I'd see this side of Uncle Freezy. What's happening?
No, you speaking facts, so I'm just listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just taking all the jewels and
yeah. Hey, and the thing about jewels on though is you want to get one just heavy enough to carry with you that you could give to somebody else.
right,
Mm,
Because keeping that stuff for yourself ain't the way to go. You get jewels so you can pass them on.
right.
mm. That's some game, some free game right there.
Hmm.
Yeah, man.
For real, for life.
Yeah. Hey,
That's a
so
fact. Lessons of days gone by teach us what comes to pass.
Right.
Chop is that dude, man. I love Chop, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some Chop Blow, yo, for real. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love some Chop Blow, man. Cause like we'll be doing the Knicks live stream, Chop will say something. They're like, what? Because we be like in the heat of debate, like, no, man, Alfred Payton can't shoot. And Chop will say something, and I'm like, yo, I got you. I got you. You caught me off guard because I was in the moment. But now, yeah, I got you. Yeah, man.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I gotta jump off, man, because I gotta get ready to get out of here. Go start this
Oh,
late night thing.
okay, okay,
Um,
okay, okay.
so maybe the next time we get on, maybe we can talk about belief systems and religion and how they impact how we think.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. It sounds good.
let's
All
do it.
right, all right. So
Yes, sir.
when you want to get together again?
Same time next week. Up to you.
Okay.
But same time next week to keep some type of schedule or format to it, some consistency so they feel it, or whenever. If you want to do
Right.
sooner,
Um, I tell you what. So the next morning drive will be back on schedule. Starting Thursday morning, right? So I'm gonna be doing the next morning drive at 8:45 every day, every morning, and the next night podcast will be at 11:45 every night.
okay,
So
okay,
so
yeah,
let me find a happy place in there that we can jump on, and then that way we can develop more of a consistent schedule.
I'm with it. I'm here. Just let me know.
You know we
All
with
right.
it. Yo, Uncle Freezy, you ain't never seen my man said he be home in the morning. I'm like, yeah, son. He be cursing everybody out. I be like, yeah,
Yeah.
what's up, baby?
On my prank video.
Yeah. 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 So yeah, man. So we're gonna jump back on, man. It's gonna be a busy few months,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but I definitely want to. This channel right here was my baby first. Yeah, so I wanted to kind of jump on and do this, and then maybe we can bring on some others, some guests. I had Sim on one time. I had Nick G on
I
one
went and
time.
checked out a couple of the old ones though.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm gonna see if I can um bring some others on so they can share this time with us, so we can rock and roll or whatever.
Absolutely.
And but we'll see what we can do as far as that. But we definitely need more stuff like this on the airwaves, something that's gonna promote positivity, self recognition, you know what I'm saying, and some other stuff, so that when we say peace, black man, it actually means something. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
so it won't mean just because when you say that to some people, it just mean we out of here.
Mhm.
And what it should mean is
It's love,
yeah,
peace,
yeah,
everything, black man.
yeah, and
Safety,
yeah, peace
brother.
cover every step. Yeah, man, peaceful journey. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, all right, y'all. I'm gonna
Uh,
get out of here, man. I'm gonna get ready for this grind tonight. I'll holler at y'all.
All right.
Um, hey, Chop, I did watch them videos though. Mm.
Oh, which one? I don't know. I always send you so many other shit. Excuse my language. And sin talk. Be sending sin.
Nah,
nah,
nah.
I might you send me so much stuff, chop. But yeah, I'll be getting to it, but you already know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just want to keep
I
you.
gotta do it one at a time though. Chop,
Yeah,
I
I
can't
want to
do them.
keep y'all on your toes, if you will.
Of
Yeah, man.
course, of course.
Some of that stuff get me through the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
Much
anyway, I
love,
want.
brother. God bless you. Love you, Papa. Ah.
Salute, man.
Yeah,
Peace.
man.
Definitely.
Yo, you know I know what that peace sign mean, right, man?
Of course, as you should.
You know I know what. Okay,
As you should. We
I
gonna get there. We building up the episodes. We
got
gonna get there.
eventually
Yes.
we gonna get there because there's a topic that I want to talk to you about. It's about Moors. You ever heard you know the people
Of
Moors?
course. Of course.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk to you about that eventually. Maybe you know down the road or whatever. You know, I want to make sure we build up our following first,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then we can drop that heavy stuff.
I'm with it.
Yo,
I'm
sin.
definitely
If
with it.
I'm waiting for that. Digging them knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, because it's a lot of it out here, and it's a shame that people don't share it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm definitely ready.
All right, bro. I'm gonna holler at y'all,
Right.
man.
All
All
right,
right.
peace.